Welcome to the Pathways to Healing podcast. I'm Michael Wormuth, and I thank you for joining us for this episode of Meditative Teachings. Please note that these recordings were made in a tropical setting with the windows and doors open, so you will hear birds and other sounds in the background. Please don't let them distract you from focusing on the words. Let's take a moment to just settle in, to get comfortable and relaxed, and become present. And we'll have a little bit of music before the start of the teaching. We must remember that our first priority is always to become present. The egoic mind is constantly pushing another agenda, the agenda of doing, of working hard, of solving problems, making effort. Which is all a calculated distraction to stop us from becoming present. The egoic mind tells us that there are things to do, things aren't right, things should be different. And yet, if we are honest with ourselves and look at where we have come to, we will have to acknowledge that the moments of peace, the moments of joy and love, never are a result of the ego's efforts, but come when we surrender and let go and trust and become present. To become present is a constant challenge for most of us, but it is the only thing worth doing. It is tempting to take the old way, the ego way, and solve problems, work hard and make effort, But so much of the time, this is just distraction. This is not to deny that there is work to be done, and that becoming conscious requires effort at times. But if that effort doesn't result in becoming present, then we have to question what it is for. The main question for our work and effort is, how do I become present? Why am I not present? Why am I stopping myself from being present? Why am I distracting myself? Is what I'm doing going to lead to being present? And so, we must agree to the challenge of overcoming our fear, fear of the life within us, fear of losing control, fear of trusting and having faith. To overcome these fears, we must make choices. We must choose to remember what is really true. We must devote our attention, our minds, to remembering what is true, to soothe our fear with the firm affirmations of what is true. The egoic mind and the control and dissociation that go with it are the product of an agitated, disturbed, traumatized state of being. The constant distraction of the ego is a state of agitation and panic. What is required is soothing, relaxing, letting go, breathing. We have to change our state. And so, for many of us, this ability to soothe is not a natural ability. Or I should say, it's not a familiar ability. It is definitely a natural ability. And we may be completely capable of soothing others in distress, or animals in distress, or even plants in distress. But we may not be so capable of soothing our own distress. This is such an important process and step to becoming present. The ego attempts to control, causes chaos and complexity, struggle. We need to remember that actually things are much simpler than they appear. Our needs are much simpler than we think. For what we find when we let go, we surrender, is that in fact there is nothing wrong. What we find once we are soothed is that everything is actually perfect. If you think of the distressed child who was woken up from a nightmare, and when they are soothed, they relax back into peaceful sleep. We do have the ability to soothe ourselves. And the more we practice it, and the more we do it, the more we get to know what will work for us. We are all unique and individual. We can find the practices and the situations and the words that will soothe us, that will gently ease us into relaxation. The mind and the body that are on alert are resistant to relaxing. They must be shown that everything is okay. And that is the value of our study and our knowledge of truth. Because we can remember it even if we aren't experiencing it in the moment. We can describe it. We can name it. We can reject that which is not true and affirm only that which is. Every one of us knows the truth within us at some level of consciousness. Every one of us is capable of discerning what is true and what is not. But we must practice, must strengthen our knowledge and memory and experience of the truth. So that we can soothe ourselves so that we can end the emergency, the panic, the agitation, dissociation. We can return to equilibrium, to peace, to our natural, authentic state. And so, that is our task in this moment. To remind ourselves of the truth. There is, in fact, nothing wrong. There is no danger. Becoming present is not a threat to our safety in any way. Letting go of control is not a threat to our safety, and is in fact of great benefit to us. There is no downside to letting go of control. There is no downside to being present to what is true and real. Let us remind ourselves of what it means to be present. It means to be conscious of the presence and power of the universal consciousness within us, the universal intelligence and power within us, to be one with the one consciousness, to be completely at peace and harmony and connection, to be an experiencer of miracles, to be a free expression of the loving light within us. That is the experience of truth, truly knowing who and what we are. There is no downside to that. What once were problems no longer exist. Issues vanish in the perfect peace, perfect stillness, there is nothing wrong. And that is the reality of this moment. And we can become present to that. Our journey is one of undoing. There are times when the truth seems a long way away. We must always prioritize becoming present. work and the journey are much easier when we have the presence, power, the universal available to us. When we trust and have faith that there is a way back to truth. Thank you for listening to this episode of our podcast. If you'd like more information on these meditations and teachings, visit pathwaystosurrender.com. You might be interested in our other podcast, Pathways to Surrender. These are guided meditations designed to support you in letting go of whatever tensions or false ideas you might be holding about how things really are, and reaching a state of peace and surrender. That's Pathways to Surrender. Look for the next episode soon. We're uploading them every couple of days. See you next time.